Welcome to Lick of the Week, number 4. I just did this. I just don't know how to work my streaming program. So, if you've been waiting, sorry. I thought I was doing it. Yeah, this is Lick number 4. I took it from Are You Mine by Arctic Monkeys. That's what it sounds like as it's written. Yeah, so in this series, I'm just giving you a vocabulary of musical words that you can string together into musical sentences when you're improvising or something. Or just like writing music, whatever you want to do. This one is set up in the stacked pentatonic, which is that shape 3 times. It's kind of stacked on top of each other. It's starting on the second note of that shape. It's kind of nice. You can just use fingers 1 and 3. I'm trying to think of all the things I just said over the last 10 minutes. One thing that's kind of nice, since it's on the stacked pentatonics, is since this is a repeating shape, that's the first octave, that's the second octave, that's the third octave. You could play this lick an octave higher by starting in that the second note of that second octave. So again, here's the first octave, the second octave. I've hit a wrong note there, but this is the starting note in the second octave, and you can go. The only difference is you'll have to use your middle finger on that top note, since these strings aren't tuned the same. You kind of have to shift the shape over. So yeah, you could play it here, or you could play it, and I'm gonna do both. Cool. Well, I'm gonna try and play this over a few different backing tracks so you can see how I change it to different keys and how I adjust it to different genres, especially when there's like a different rhythm involved, like doing a shuffle instead of just like straight eighth notes. Let's see. Let's start in, since this is in the key of A, I don't have any backing tracks in the key of A. So let's start on this reggae backing track in A minor, which is the same as C major. A minor is the relative minor of C major. So this shape, as it's written, is in A major. And since A is only 4 notes away, A sharp, B, C, if I just shift everything over 4 notes, then I can play it in the key of C. So rather than playing it here, I would go here. And I would play that lick right there. So the shape starts in the 8th fret, and our lick would start in the 10th fret. Here's what that sounds like right now. Right now. I'll play it a few times just as it's written. Get closer. Also, I'm doing this as a live stream, so you can ask questions if you want. Makes it more interesting. I'm better at answering questions than just rambling. Alright, I'll start changing it up. I am improvising, so some of this might be cooler than others. I might mess up a lot. But that's what makes it fun, exciting. Alright, so that's what it sounds like over some reggae in a minor key. Let's try something funky in E minor. So E minor is the relative minor of G major, We were originally in A major, which means we just have to shift everything from A down to G. This is E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So we just need to move everything down 2 frets. So we were playing it here. And we're just going to shift it down to the 5th fret. Here's what it sounds like. So on, so forth. All right, let's try one more. Let's do a blues, a slow blues in E major. That'll be interesting because the blues uses a shuffle rhythm. It's subdivided by triplets. In this lick, those fast notes are 16th notes, so they're not going to line up very nice with a shuffle rhythm. So we're going to have to adjust the 16th notes to feel like triplets. And that's kind of the whole idea with, you know, this lick of the week thing, is we're not trying to play these exactly as I'm giving them to you, because that would be plagiarism. We're trying to use them as kind of a diving board to transform them and, you know, put them in your own words, so to speak. So, since it is a blues, we could use an E major pentatonic, or we could use an E minor pentatonic. E minor pentatonic is going to sound moodier and cool. And E major pentatonic is going to be kind of like nice and upbeat and almost honky-tonk. So let me show you E minor pentatonic first, because that's actually in the same key we were just in. E minor is the relative minor of G major, and we were just playing in G major. I guess I said that funk was in E minor, so I didn't even have to say that. So yeah, we're just playing in E minor again, and it'll sound moody, and then I'll change it to E major, which would be that stacked pentatonic starting on the note E. And what's kind of rough about that is that's E. So you could play it with a starting, with an open first note. That's the first octave. That's the second octave. So you could do that, or you could start it on the 12th fret. And I'll just do both. You can hear the lick in a few different octaves. All right, I'll start with E minor pentatonic though. So I think if we were to shift it into triplets, it might sound something like... All right, I'll go to E major pentatonic so you can hear it in kind of a more upbeat way. I lost it. Right at the end, I buckled under pressure. All right, well, that should be enough to get you going. You heard it, a few different genres, a few different keys, with a few different rhythms. Something? Grooves? I don't know what word to use there. If you want to hear a specific lick from your favorite solo, just give me a link in the comments with a timestamp, and I'll do this with that. I've got a bunch, you know, planned and saved up, but I'll do them in whatever order. So if you got one in mind, just let me know. If not, see you in the next one. Hopefully you can play something cool with this lick. Have fun.